opinions expressed in this show belong to the person expressing them. They do not purport to reflect the opinions or views of Rancher or any other entity.
Good morning, everybody.
Oh, we're live.
We're live. Good morning, everybody.
I'm still chatting.
Welcome to today's episode of Coffee and Cloud Native, the show that shares news and interesting content related to Kubernetes, Cloud Native, and other nifty technology. My name is Adrian Goins, and this is...
Wifebot.
And we're pretty happy to be here today, right? Would you say that? Pretty happy?
We're super happy to be here
mediocre?
today. Mediocre.
On a scale of 1 to 10, our happiness rating is around a 4.
No, it's around a
9.8.
11.
Oh, we're excited to be here with you
We
today. You can't see it in my face because it's 9:33 and the show started late.
Sorry, I was fixing my hair.
We are excited. So if you're watching live, consider following or subscribing to the channel. And if you're watching a replay, give the video a thumbs up so that YouTube shares it with other people. Join the free community site and the Discord server. Links to that are
Somewhere.
over there.
Over there.
And that's, there's live chat. It happens during the show. It happens after the show. There's a bot that relays between here and there and everywhere.
I think he means me when he says the bot that relays everything.
And, oh, nice. Ian got the Spinal Tap joke. Good job.
Very nice.
So come join Discord, hang out with us during the show or after. Today's an interesting day.
It is, but there's so many people joining, and I failed to say hello to everyone. Maybe we should say hello to people first.
Okay, say hello.
Hello, people.
Good morning to Leffen, Ian, Peter Keach, Nuno, Ariel, Mladen, Wifebot,
Hello.
Tony Stark, Rob, Captain Justin, hello, thank you for joining us today. Dirk, nice to see you, sir. Dirk's a big fan of Wifebot.
Thank you.
And Wojtek, hello. Oh, that's me, Adrian. I was like, why does the other Adrian have my avatar? Frank, hello. Okay, so.
Okay, on with the show.
Oh, Serg is saying something in Russian.
Oh, I missed it. Where is it?
I think
I'll
it's
scroll and
hello
find
from
it.
Russia. It's down at the bottom.
Oh, really? I'm all the way at the top again.
Do you want to reply?
I don't even see it. I can't read.
It's right
Oh, yeah. Привет из России. Привет.
There you go. I try to get her to speak Russian. She won't.
Sometimes I do.
Just funny because she's Russian. It's like, okay. I want to do something different today.
What do you want to do? Pancakes. No.
No. So there's some interestingness happening.
Interestingness. Did you guys catch that?
Happening. Yeah, interestingness is an important thing. No, that's not the window I want. That's the window I want. There's some interestingness happening. This is an article that coincidentally happens to be up on Hacker News right now, which I thought was, well, interesting. Hence the interestingness. Speed is the killer feature. Now, we're not talking Mr. White kind of Breaking Bad speed here, because that'll just kill you, which, could be a feature. But it talks about, from a product-related perspective, the value of speed in your product. The difference between the iPhone and the Razr, talking back in 2007, for those of you who were alive back then.
I have traumatic memories from the Razr.
And how the Razr just felt sluggish, even though it had all the same features of the iPhone. It just felt sluggish. And how we can look at our products and, well, find more or less the same thing. If it feels sluggish, then people will stop using it. I look at speed as the value of pretty much everything that I do. The faster I can produce something, the happier I am, and the more things I can produce, and the better it is for all of you. If you've been watching the show for any length of time, you know that I periodically reboot the show. I'll shut it down for a couple of weeks, we'll revamp it, and we'll bring it back. And every time I hope that it's been a little bit better, and then we figure out, okay, what can we change next? And then we shut it down and we reboot it. Well, I'm gonna do that again. So today's gonna be the last show for some period of time as Shipwreck and I reboot the show and bring it back better. And you're like, what? I'm sure in the chat right now, people are like, what? And here's why. With the machine learning model that we have right now, I can see the things that you're interested in and the things that you're interested in everything because you all are wonderful. But I can see the things that you're more interested in. No! I can see the things that you're more and less interested in. And what I've learned from the feedback that you provide for the show is that you really like leverage. You really like tools. You really like things that allow you to do more with less and to do it faster. Which is why I thought that this article was interesting, because it says, go back and review your product, and it uses an interesting reference. I'm going to say interesting a whole lot this show.
Okay, it's an interestingness-filled show.
It refers to people who hire your product. And I thought that was very appropriate. People don't use our products. People hire our products to perform a function. And when they stop performing the function, they release them from employment. Mm-hmm. I don't want you to release the show from employment, and I want more people to hire the show. There's only so much speed that any of us are capable of producing. If you're on a bicycle and it's a fixed gear bike, you can only pedal so fast. And what do you do if you want to go faster, bike lady?
You go downhill.
You have to go up the hill first. Perhaps you change your fixed gear bike for a bike with more gears. And then you change gears so that you now have leverage. And we can get out of this article now because the rest of it's not important. Leverage is what I'm trying to bring to you. So I'm going to spend more time on tools. Max says engine. Yeah. I'm going to spend more time on tools. And we're going to start with a cleansing of the tool of the day. So today's show will be entirely about... WifeBot has the first tool.
As promised, it is a hammer.
No, that's not a hammer.
It's a hammer.
This is a hammer. 16-ounce framing hammer, 22-ounce framing hammer, even better. What's good about your hammer?
It's for whacking husbands.
No. No. Now, I don't know if the Trufflebot's actually going to be able to do stuff because Trufflebot is programmed to only do one tool of the day, and I gave him 10. Hammer time.
10 tools of the day.
I gave him 10 tools of the day, and let's see if he can do it. If not, it's going to be one of those. It's going to be one of those.
One of those?
Maybe one of those. Oh yeah. Okay. Well.
What's
Well,
happening?
the first one's not actually a tool of the day, but it's really neat.
But is it a tool at all?
Yeah, it counts.
Okay.
NMAS. NMAS is a multi-tenant self-service messaging system for Kubernetes. I'm a heavy MQTT user. And I'm also a big fan of other messaging systems. So MQTT, its main limitation is you put something in the queue, and if nothing's there to retrieve it, unless you set it to retain, well, then it just goes away. And even if it's set to retain, you're only going to get the last thing. So messaging systems that actually function as queues, where you can load work into them and then workers pull stuff off of the queues, I build those in Python all the time. And literally all the time. I love messaging systems and queues. This popped up last night and is a combined system for, let's go to their getting started page. It's a combined system for, no, let's not go to their getting started. There it is. It is a combined system for multiple message queue systems. So it has brokers that will speak MQTT, AMQP, what else? Core, OpenWire, supports JMS with transactions, all inside of a fixed system. So it speaks everything, performs a bunch of different functions. And it also has integrated authentication and authorization, TLS support, restrictions on who's allowed to do what and where. I guess that's the authorization component of things. And resource provisioning for the workloads themselves. So you can, when you allocate a broker, you also allocate the resources you expect it to consume, at which point, once it starts to exceed that, it'll start spinning up more pods. So this is standard horizontal pod autoscaling for Kubernetes, except it's built around the metrics associated with the number of transactions that are going through the queue. With just this one thing, I can replace my MQTT system that I use for all of my home automation and home lab stuff, as well as my messaging queue system that I use for other stuff, and get it all in one nice, pretty box.
Awesome. People are concerned, though, that you're going to replace WifeBot with other technologies, too.
WifeBot will guarantee you, WifeBot will kill me. WifeBot has a self-destruct system that will wipe out half a hemisphere.
That is true.
No, not going to happen. So there you go. This is en masse.
Can we vote on that?
Yeah, you can vote on it.
Okay.
And let's see what happens next. Oh, yeah, okay. So, because Trufflebot is designed for one tool of the day. Now there's like 9 tools of the day. I didn't plan for that. So, I wonder.
Can you reprogram Trufflebot?
Really super quickly, but it would require rebuilding and pushing. So no. Okay. Well, then there's no voting on the remaining tools, and instead I will just go to the window where I shared all of them with Shipwreck last night, and I will just load them from there.
Maybe you guys can just tell us how you feel about the tool that he's talking about in the live chat.
Yeah. All right. Next up. Max says use an AI to rebuild it in production now. Honestly, like, y'all can watch me do it, but how exciting is that? TFSec. It's a static analysis security scanner for your Terraform code. Now remember, all of these are tools. All of these are tool of the day things, and the fun part that comes out of all of this show is we get to see which of these Shipwreck chooses to do a deep dive on later in the week. Maybe he'll just do them all. Terraform is everywhere, as you all know. And this is a tool that provides... Oh, can I have post the links? Yes, I can. Sorry. Post the links in the live voting channel. Let's see, live chat. There you go, tsec.dev.
Okay, we have 4 or 5 from Captain Justin.
So this will perform analysis of your Terraform code, and it has a lot of stuff for AWS, Azure, and GCP. Gives you examples of the insecure example, and then a secure example, one that will fail the check, and then one that will pass the check. Also, in some cases, gives you a related link. So for example, if we go to the general check, we look at general 001, potentially sensitive data stored in the default value of a variable. So it shows you how this would fail if you have the password in there, and then a secure example that excludes the password. And you might be like, well, of course it's secure, there's no password. But if you want to know how to properly handle sensitive data in Terraform, there's a link to the documentation that shows you how to do that. This doesn't have much for general, but it's got quite a few for Azure and GCP, and then it has a whole mess of them for AWS, like AWS 055. Elasticsearch nodes should communicate with node-to-node encryption available.
All right, we're getting a lot of 4s on this, a couple of 3s.
3s are okay.
But
3s
a
mean
whole bunch of
3s are
4s.
neutral.
And 2 cool sunglasses.
Cool. Next. Where'd my window go? Ah! Well, don't do that.
It actually squeaks if I hit you hard enough.
Okay, come on.
Can I?
Yeah. It did not squeak.
It wasn't hard enough.
The squeaker's broken. Oh. That's a dirty trick.
I was going to keep hitting it.
That's a dirty trick.
Sorry.
Next up, we have Death Star.
Death Star.
Death Star. Death Star claims that it's a tool for load testing web-based services in an easy, automated, cloud-native, and quick way without spending time on infrastructure setup for load generation. It does this by default using Lambda functions, which is pretty smart. It's a self-contained universe of load testing that uses a load testing tool called Vegeta, that I've never heard of before today. Of course, Dragon Ball Z. Nerds. Vegeta. It's over 9,000. I don't know what that means. Okay. Nerds. Like their image is bigger than their README. Oh, okay. It's over 9. Okay. So all of you are way nerdier than I am. So Vegeta is a load testing tool, and then Death Star combines that into a single binary that you can use with a YAML file. Let's find their little YAML file here. Not that. There you go. A YAML file that defines the attacks and what you're attacking, the URLs, the rate, the duration, and then a Lambda config that you have for your AWS environment already configured, and it will spin up Lambda systems, bash the heck out of your app, and then tear them down.
Vegeta, we are told.
Vegeta.
Vegeta.
Not like vegetable? Vegetable?
Vegetable.
Okay. Multipass.
Multipass.
Apparently, it can also work with EC2 systems if you exceed the capacity of what you can do with just Lambda. And they have information on how to do that down below. Now, this is, like everything else, new and interesting. You can run it directly from Mac OS, even though the package that it deploys is actually for Linux. So if you're going to run it on Mac OS, if you run it on Linux, you just run Death Star and it contains everything all self-contained and sends it out. If you run it from Mac OS, then there's some extra steps you have to go through with a zip file that is unfortunately not linked where it says download it from here. So somewhere there's a zip file. If you're using a Mac, you can probably figure it out. So this is Death Star.
There were votes on that, but
They scrolled off the top of the screen?
Yeah, all the nerd gifs kind of swallowed them.
Next up, we have... Peter wants to know if it's on Homebrew. Yes, it was on Homebrew. So brew, install, not Vegeta. Get back up to the installation. Quick start, prerequisite, yada, yada, yada. Building from source. No, download the pre-built packages from your system. Really? I thought it was on Brew. No. I lied. Something else is on Homebrew. Something else is coming up in just a moment. Next up, we have Law Guru. This one's for Dirk, man. The dude abides. I guess that was more like Keanu. You think Keanu and Jeff Bridges are friends?
I hope so.
I
They
bet they
should
are.
be. Yeah.
Probably like sit there and like, I guess, not touch each other.
Oh, right, right.
I write a lot of stuff in Python, and every time I want to log something, I just hate being like, oh, I gotta go make a logger and read the documentation and stuff. This is a really simple package you can just import that makes logging dead simple. So no more Russian debug. Do you know Russian debug? Everybody knows Russian debug.
No.
Print here. Print here too. Which loop got executed? So LawGuru is designed to make all of that happier and better and nicer, and will also show, wow, that's pretty, will show you where in your code base, not just stack traces, because that's not cool enough, but I don't know if you can see this here, like breaking down information about the traceback and where it actually happened. Oh my God, I'm gonna cough in a second. High particulate matter.
Yes.
So this is super cool. I mean, what more can I say about it? It's just
Super cool.
Super cool. And you can do stuff with logging. What else? What do we got in here? Lazy evaluation of expensive functions, customizable levels, descriptive exceptions, asynchronous, thread safe, multi-process save, suitable for scripts and libraries, totally compatible with the standard logging for Python. It's, oh, but apparently it's not 10 times faster than built-in logging. But it's still, you make up for it by it being easier to use. Sorry you can't vote on all these.
They are
They are voting?
posting their emotions.
Okay. I'm glad that you can express your emotions.
We're getting thumbs up, mega cool.
Mega cool.
people confessing to Russian debugging.
Oh yeah, all the time. Print. And then you forget to remove the print statements, and later you're looking at your log files and you're like, why does it keep saying here 3? Oh, okay. Next up, Kubernetes namespace killer. How many of you have ever gotten a namespace stuck? Wait, did you ever get your namespace stuck?
Never, no.
Oh.
I mean, a lady never admits.
Anyway, when your Kubernetes namespace gets stuck on terminating, and it's because there's a finalizer, the standard thing that you find on the internet is, just delete the finalizer. And we've had on the show before, like, why that's actually bad. You can end up with orphaned objects that can then get pulled back into future namespaces if the namespace is created with the same name, so that could be secrets, or it's just bad. Just bad. You don't, like, it's not terminating for a reason. And there are a number of steps that you can go through to pull API resources and figure out where, like, what it's actually waiting for, and then go in and, like, poke at those things. And every once in a while, it still doesn't work. And then you start rebooting nodes, and then you rebuild your cluster, and then you quit your job, and then you go become a hermit in the mountains in the Himalayas, and you look for the Buddha, and then you come back and you terminate your namespace by deleting the finalizer. So this does all of those things for you, except deliver enlightenment. You basically just run it, and it does all of the querying and polling and stuff like that. You can run it with dry run, and it will actually print out all of the stuff, including like delete all. And I'm guessing force, probably just terminates the finalizer as well. So this is a cool thing to just have in your toolbox.
Neat.
Oh my God, Terminator. We are watching, we just finished watching The Running Man.
And now Predator.
And now we're watching Predator. We watch like 30 to 40 minutes of a movie during dinner over several days. I call it taking a break. Next up, what are we doing on time? 9:55?
Oh, I forgot to keep an eye on time.
That's okay. It's just the tool of the day.
Is it time for tool of the day?
Of the day. 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 Kev. I gotta paste this.
Paste it. Paste it. Oh, that was a hard one to say.
Paste it, paste it, paste it.
Yeah. Say it fast, though.
Bad parenting creates bad kids. Kev is, for all you Docker people out there still using Docker Compose. I saw something the other day where people were ragging on Kubernetes again about how it's like the orchestration system of hipsters, and too many people are using it when you don't need it. And I strongly disagree with that. K3s is so lightweight, you can just put it on a system as a single node. You get all of this health checking and orchestration and all these benefits associated with running your container workloads with services. And it's great. And I think more people should use it, because what's the alternative? Run your stuff manually?
So do you think people talk crap about it because they just don't understand it? Or like they can't be bothered to understand it?
Probably because it threatens what they're already doing.
People do hate change.
Yeah. So they already have some system that they've invested a lot of time and energy into, and it's just the floor got ripped out from under them, and now there's this Kubernetes thing. That's another thing they have to learn, and that lots of people in the world are already better than them at.
Right.
So then it threatens job security, it threatens income, it threatens all the stuff that we hold on our self maps. Mm-hmm. And so then they're like, hipster. And
And just try to dismiss it.
Yeah, you can dismiss everything with a hipster. Hipster. I like lasagna. Hipster. I like Teslas. Hipster. So Kev is a tool that will take your Docker Compose file and convert it, not just convert it to Kubernetes manifest, because Compose with a K already did that, but it also will keep track of the changes that you have in your Docker Compose files. It'll come up with extensions for dev, prod, and stage, so you can come up with multiple environments, and does some other stuff. And if you are already familiar with Compose, they even have a thing down here that says, how does dev differ from Compose? And you can read that. And they will tell you. Nuno says, to be totally fair, the Compose spec is having a lot of efforts and push by Docker and the community. The Compose spec is having a lot of efforts and push by Docker and the community. Is it like to make it better? To make it more? To make it more? To do what? Next, and probably last, to make it more, and Nuno is level 20! Woo! Awesome. Do not fear. During the time that the show is away, Shipwreck's still going to be doing his thing, and we're still going to be doing stuff in the... Well, let me take a step back. During the time that the show is away, Shipwreck is still going to be posting stuff in the community site about his experiences with the tools that he's working with. I'll still be in Discord. There's still going to be a lot of activity. We're not just going to disappear. It's just we're not going to do the live stream.
Plus, you can all learn art on Wifebot's channel.
There's that too. So next and possibly last is... Oh, this is tough.
Are you trying to choose one?
Yeah. So I have a whole list of them here. Let's go with this one. There's a lot here that's really worth. Post a link to your website.
Oh, crap.
Leffen wants to know.
Okay.
There's a lot here. Akihiro Suda is kind of just a little tiny bit amazing. Maintainer of Moby, BuildKit, Containerd, and RunC. So this is a person that you have a conversation with where you just don't talk, you listen. And he has created a tool called Nerd Control, haha, nerds, that is designed to bring the Docker command functions to Containerd. Because Containerd is just the container runtime interface. So you don't have, Docker build and the networking and the other stuff that comes with Docker, because Docker is so much more than just the CRI. So he has created a tool that tries to bring those things into an environment that just runs Containerd. So some things that it brings that are interesting and useful are, run, exec, okay, PS, inspect, logs, port, rm, stop, kill, pause, unpause. But then he brings in BuildKit so that you can do nerd control build and commit. And then images, so push, pull, load, save, tag, RMI, okay. But wait, we got network support in here. And, where is, oh my gosh, it's 10 o'clock already.
Oh my God.
Bear with me. He's got two things in here that are just ridiculous. Okay, so one of them is in this Askinama thing that's at the top here. Nerd Control supports a concept called lazy pulling, where it just pulls down the pieces of the container image that it needs to run whatever it's trying to do. And in the example right here, he pulls down a Python image from GitHub Container Registry, and somebody says nerd control kill. Nerd control kill. That was from Ian. And it just pulls down only the components of Python that it needs to run print high. So you get much faster container loads, and then it'll pull the rest of the stuff behind the scenes as it actually needs it. The second thing that it has support for is, let me just get the link from where I pasted it to Shipwreck. Okay, so the thing I just talked about is here, pasting this in the chat. And the other one is that it has support for copy. This is like
Support
totally,
for?
this is totally the wrong way to do this. Like I missed Trufflebot already.
Oh, Trufflebot.
Yeah, Star GZ. Thanks, Shipwreck. The other one is there, and it's support for image encryption functionality within Containerd. I didn't even know that Containerd had image encryption support. But apparently you can extend Containerd to support encrypted images, which, just remember that. There's a little bit of foreshadowing there. Encrypted images, signed container images, TLS certificates, those sorts of things are important, and they're underutilized. And that's something that we would like to see people do more of. Having image encryption support built into Containerd is great, but come on. Having encrypted image support built into a tool that allows you to talk to Containerd is even better.
I concur.
So that's Nerd Control, super powerful, from Akihiro Suda. Thank you so much for being awesome. And with that, it's time to go. It's time to go. It's time to get whacked in the head. Oh, that was gentle. Thank you.
Because the squeaker's broken.
Because the
I had
squeaker's
no
broken.
idea.
She'd have kept hitting me. Thank you so much for watching. Links to everything that we talk about on the show go up in the free community site at cncn.io after the show ends. So come join us. Community members get early access to the links, video replay, and other exclusive content. And for the next few weeks, it's going to be the only content, but there's still a lot there. If you have a tool you would like us to consider for the show, please post it in the community site or in the show suggestions channel on Discord. Do not fear, we will be back, and like always, it's going to be awesomer.
That's how we roll. Awesomer and awesomer.
Keep learning, stay safe, stay caffeinative. We'll see you soon.
Bye.